And then you go from Oklahoma to Oregon. And in those spots, he probably had highly touted guys behind him that were probably chomping at the bit, but it didn't feel like in any of his play at any of those locations, it frazzled him. And it doesn't feel like that's going to be the case here either. So I do think he's kind of the perfect guy to have in this spot because you trust in not only the headspace, but you trust in the preparation and you trust in the play on the field won't be affected by, oh, I've got this guy behind me. And it's, I think, for the Browns situation, kind of perfect because you've now elevated Shedeur to the spot that most Browns fans, I think, at this point want to see. Shedor's the backup. So if the hook
he's not, though. I just want to stop you real quick. That is a media depth chart.
Okay, then he should.
Because that's not Kevin's. So the way there's two depth charts that come up in the end. I just had to stop you, Reese, real quick because I don't want people to think that that's official. The depth chart that comes out on a Monday or a Tuesday from an NFL is one that's put out by their media teams. The depth charts that's real usually comes Thursday or Friday by the coaches. So yesterday when they put that out, there was only one other active quarterback on their roster, and it was Shedeur Sanders. Not to say that he won't be the backup. He very well could be. I have no idea. Kevin may say that at 12 today. Yeah, Shedeur's the backup. Dylan's the starter. Shedeur's the backup. I have no idea. But that depth chart specifically is done by in-house media, the media relations team, not the coaches.
That's silly that they did that, all things considered.
I think they have to.
Sure, but
I think the NFL writers make them do it. But it is misleading.
But presumptively,
yes,
there's the other quarterback in the building is your backup as of right now. Now, I would have thought that once this move was made, because the Bengals made two quarterback moves yesterday, releasing White and the other guy. If the Browns make this move, then did they have a corresponding move elevating a quarterback off the practice squad? I think Zappy's there, or bringing in another quarterback to say we've done two things at the same time so that you kind of avoid something like this. But right now, going into the game Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would be okay as a fan right now at 1-4 if this stays the same. Gabriel 1, Shedeur 2.
I think it's I saw yesterday somebody said they thought the Browns would be signing a veteran quarterback. I didn't know if that meant Bailey Zappi was coming up from the practice squad to the active roster, or if they were actually going to bring another quarterback in, even if it was someone on the practice squad, because it is weird that you have two rookies there and no true veteran to show them the way. As Reese has said before, teach them how to dog. There's no older guy there right now. Bo, your point on Shedeur Sanders not being a normal fifth-round rookie, boy, is that the case. Because there is not another fifth-round rookie in the world that is having Fox 8 in Cleveland chase them down to a car dealership to ask them about this yesterday. And it's one of my things that I hate for Shedeur. And there are things about Shedeur, that there are reasons why he's in the spot that he is and whatnot, but, man, through no fault of his own, he has a following around him, and it's going to make it very tough for him to be a backup in the NFL just because nobody wants a noisy NFL backup quarterback. And I'm not saying he necessarily is noisy, but just the situation around him is always noisy.
Why do you hate that for him?
Because it's going to be hard for people to sign him because they don't want that circus around a backup quarterback. They don't want it around a starting quarterback.
He's created that, though, I would argue.
Has he?
Shedeur,
or is who his dad is created that?
I think they've leveraged.
I think it's all of it, but I think it's a little bit, it's a little bit like Tebow.
Absolutely.
Like Tebow couldn't be a backup either because there was anywhere he went, like you just keep... And it's some of no fault of their own sometimes. Sometimes you lean into it. In this world now, you can lean into it because followers and all of those things equal money. I saw the bite from Coach Prime out in Boulder. We can play it real quick. I think we have a little bit of time. Go ahead and play it.
The Browns traded away Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I got that text during practice.
I was just wondering what your reaction is.
I don't give a damn about the Browns at all. I care about the Colorado Buffaloes. I do love me some Shedeur Sanders, don't believe that. I care about him. The rest of that mess, I don't. Okay, I'm a coach trying to win just like they're trying to win games, but I could care less of they traded.
And, I take that. There's a little bit of tone to that you can certainly read into, that maybe he's not pleased with everything that's going on up there. But there's not another backup quarterback in the league whose dad is Deion Sanders, who's the head coach of a major college, football team. And I think some of what Coach Prime is saying there is, I got my own problems. I can't worry about their problems. I got my own problems. That's what I mainly read from that answer. Is we're what is he, 2-3 or 1-3? I mean, it ain't working. So that's the way that I read into that one. But going to be a fascinating press conference from Kevin Stefanski. It comes up in about 3 hours or thereabout, answering why they did this and then how they'll handle it going forward. Much more straight line here. Illinois is the task at hand. It is Big Noon in Champaign. There's a wooden turtle at stake. You'll hear from Ryan Day in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
At Retail Rush, you can find name brand products at unbeatable prices because you set the price. Retail Rush sources overstock, returned, and discontinued products in bulk from big box stores. Then we auction those products online starting at $5. You can get up to 90% off retail prices on beautiful basics for life's big moments, hot tech, and more at a deep discount. Pickup is fast and easy, so whether you're looking to splurge or save, we have you covered. Retail Rush. Deals made easy. Bid now at retailrush.com.
Football season's heating up, and so are the deals at Germain Toyota. Right now, drive home a rugged 2025 Toyota Tacoma with 2.99% APR for up to 48 months. Or go big with the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, also 2.99 APR for up to 72 months. Built tough, built smart, built for whatever your game day brings. Find your next Toyota at Germain Toyota at the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or start your next adventure online at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score.
Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, you get early payout on parlays too. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. And app only.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Buckeyes at Illinois on Saturday. Big noon kick over there. This is my least favorite trip in the Big Ten when I covered Ohio State. This is the one I hated the most. Sorry, Fish. Typically, this game takes place when I was covering Ohio State and with them every week, every game. This was a game that would happen in early November is when this game would happen. It felt like traditionally that's where this game fell. And so it just felt like you drove straight and didn't turn forever. It's the most boring drive. It's just straight across. It's just straight. And there's nothing. There's not a hill. You got potholes in Indiana. You guys know how I feel about that. You finally get there. Now, everybody I know who went to Illinois, and I know a couple of people, including the Great Fish, loved it. Had like the time of their lives. Loved the campus, loved everything about it. We inevitably stay at the same hotel every time. It's right off the freeway. You stay at the same hotel. It's like strip mall fest. I'm like, is there any sort of hominess or culture to Champaign? And in my vantage point in the 2 times that I was over there, no. Is the answer to that? No. Worst trip. And it was always cold and windy and gray. Never saw the sun. Just brutal. And I do think it's the worst drive. People will say, well, what about the drive you got to make to State College? That's a little bit more like Watkins Glen for the racing fans, because you have the Pennsylvania Turnpike, depending on which way you go, or if you go through Pittsburgh, depending on how you do it. I mean, that's like a race car track for 6 hours is what that one is. That's not great either. But at least when you get over there, I feel like there's a little more to it. This one's brutal. Have either of you guys been over there?
Nope.
I have not, but I know the potholes through Indiana and Illinois are brutal.
They're just allergic to fixing them.
Rattle your teeth.
Yeah, they say good luck. Wish you the best of luck. Be high alert. We're not into fixing them. We wish you all the best. I hope that the car can come fix your tire.
At least you get new struts and tires after that trip, so that's
you
nice.
Get struts, tires, rims. You do have the Uranus place now, which is nice.
Oh, the old fudge factory.
You got that going there. They've got the best fudge, so that helps. All right. Look, the Illinois team, here's what we know about Illinois. They got bombed at Indiana, and I'm a little bitter about it because I thought they'd play well against Cignetti. They didn't. They got absolutely bombed. Now, they were without a bunch of players in that game, including several defensive players who are big-time contributors. So that may be factored into it, but also maybe they're just not on the level of Indiana. What did we see from them after that loss, though? We saw them at home on this stage against USC, and you saw USC went in there and really was on the cusp of getting the win, and this Illini team kept fighting and did it and handled their business. So I think the Illinois team you're going to get on Saturday is probably going to be more closely resembling the one that you saw against USC than the one you saw in Bloomington. Here's Ryan Day on that.
Pitch the game, throw it out. It's not who they are. I can't quite explain that game. I know Nebraska had the same thing that happened last year and then came in and played us all the way to the fourth quarter. So throw that film out. Don't even barely look at it, because to me that's not who we're playing. They, whatever it was in that game, it's an outlier. So we're going to look at the games that were played prior, what they did last year, what they've done in the last 2 games. Brett's again one of the better coaches in the country, and he's a resilient guy, and they're a resilient team. So I think it says a lot about them to rebound the way they did, get a win against USC, and then go play the way they did last week. So, we all know that going through a tough loss can bring a bunch of people together. I think they've done that, and so we know we're going to get their best shot here on Saturday, and we're going to talk about that today, and we've got to have a great day of practice.
I mean, you see what he's doing there. I mean, he's speaking to his team through the media. That's what he's doing. And that goes to our conversation at the top of keeping the edge sharp despite everybody telling you you're great, which gets into this next bit from Coach Day on ignoring the noise.
We say ignore the noise. You've heard that before. Usually they're talking about adversity. I'm using it right now with our guys, because all of a sudden, everyone thinks, you're the number 1 team in the country and you've done all these things. We haven't done anything yet. We haven't accomplished a thing. And so the only thing that's going to matter is who gets better week in and week out. And it's just easy nowadays because of the media, because of their phones, because of everything that comes with it. You can start reading your press clippings and you can start feeling pretty good about yourself. And then all of a sudden, you get knocked out and you don't realize it. So we cannot let that happen. And the coaches and the leaders and all those guys are determined to not let that happen. But that's because it's not about the score. It's not about the opponent. It's about us and our training and our foundation, and that's got to be the focus. It's the process over the results. And so, but the tricky thing is you got to bring it every week. But these are still 18, 19, 20-year-old men. They're young men, but they're not pros yet. Although the world's changing, we have to make sure that they understand that. And when you haven't been through that before, I talk to the guys all the time, there's wisdom, and if you can just listen to the people that have been through it before, like we have a lot of great coaches with great wisdom. And, I suggest to our players all the time, ask them what it's like, because they've been through the ups and the downs and everything in between. And, this is going to be a long season, and we have to bring it. Every single team we play, including this team, was a very good team, can knock you off if you're not on your game.
Ryan had that line in there, and he said, things are changing, but they're not pros. I would actually lean into the opposite. Be a pro. Do your job. Do your job, be a pro. Handle it. That's, to me, with this operation now, I always go, this is the best example off the top of my head, but to me, it's like Real Madrid. You have the best team. You have the most talent. Now handle everybody every single week. Go win the Champions League. Win La Liga. That's the job here. That's what it is. So when he says, I know what he's going for there, that what he means by that is they're still kids, anything can happen. But I would lean the other way and say, you're pros. Go be pros and handle your business on Saturday over in Champaign.
Yeah, it's almost like the 20, 25, 30, 35, $40 million rosters. Like if I'm them, I'm just saying, yeah, so what? Your poverty program doesn't want to stack up. But I also liked in that where he talked about having like the staff around him. And I think he's done a tremendous job, as you know, we've spoken about for months now, building the staff that's done it all. And he's got two guys on this staff that know what it's like to be a team highly ranked, highly thought of, highly considered, to look at an Illinois team and say, no, that's not a big deal. 2007, the last time the Illini won a game in this series was in Columbus. Like the Buckeyes haven't lost in Champaign since 91. But that loss in 07, you had Hartline and Laurinaitis, two very prominent voices on this coaching staff in that building that know exactly what it's like to be, well, this team's so great. They're not going to lose to that Illinois team, then Juice Williams.
Jeez, I mean, Threes is driving around town and catching strays from Reese.
Look, it's part of the message. It's what they get to say based off of our lived experience. Do not overlook the eye.
Yeah.
It is so true, and Bo, it's the motto of this program, right? Act accordingly.
That's it.
And that's what Ryan is trying to get these guys to do in everything he says. As you mentioned, whether it's through the media, whether it's with them, whether it's talking to parents, whether it's talking to future recruits, all of it, the message is the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I love that Bielema is there. This will be a competitive game. I'd be shocked. It's not going to be 63-17. That is not going to happen. This is going to be a competitive game. The number right now on ESPN bet is what, 14.5? Is that kind of where it is?
Yeah, I thought that was a little high coming out, actually. I thought it'd be around 11 or 12.
Yeah. That hook on that is pretty interesting. He mentioned the Nebraska game here last year, and we all remember how competitive that was all the way into the fourth quarter. Don't know, we were in the stands for that one. I don't remember thinking that Ohio State would lose to Nebraska, but it definitely got a little nervy in the fourth quarter of that one. And I think you'll get a very competitive game over there. Altmaier can spin it. I'm curious to see how they attempt to attack this Buckeye defense, but it'll be competitive, and it'll be far more competitive than what Illinois had against Indiana because of all of the circumstances that led to that. So be pros, handle your business, go over there, bring back a wooden turtle, which is just such a spectacular trophy to go back and forth. We had a lot of sports last night. The baseball is happening on the American League side of things, and we dropped the puck on the 2025-26 NHL season. We'll get into all of that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Imagine the perfect chicken tender. Crispy, juicy, for lack of a better word, tendery. Now imagine these perfect tenders at Wendy's. Because they are. Wendy's new chicken tenders are here with delicious new dipping sauces like Wendy's Signature, Creamy Ranch, and Honey Barbecue. And they're so good, we even changed our name from Wendy's to Tendies. I believe that's what the kids call manifesting. For Tendies you're going to know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's. Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HindererMotorCompany.com.
Save faster, borrow smarter, and move sooner with CME. Earn 6.5% APY with an Ohio Homebuyer Plus savings account, plus a low 5.1R mortgage rate when it's time to buy. Start your path to home ownership with CME Federal Credit Union. APY means annual percentage yield. APY 6.5%. APR varies. Terms and eligibility apply. Visit CMEFCU.org.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of our specialties here at Pella Wilson is getting rid of old, smaller windows with no view and replacing them with huge, beautiful windows that can change the look and feel of your home.
We tried that once, but we cut the hole a bit too big, so we had to put in a garage door instead in their dining room.
Wilson.
Didn't improve the view, but they do have a drive-through now, so you're welcome, Gruball family.
Get the windows that can change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
Newman Roofing, as part of its 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to recognize individuals who go above and beyond to make a difference for people of all abilities. This week, we honor Jessica Komajati. Jessica has made a meaningful impact as a Special Olympics Ohio Fit 5 advocate, a youth leader, and a dedicated Buddy Walk committee member. During this Down Syndrome Awareness Month, Newman Roofing is proud to join forces with 10 TV and The Fan in celebrating our ongoing commitment to the community.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. With friends like these, who needs former college football players? This is Bishop and Friends.
Bouncing around channels last night, and as is one of my all-time favorite things to do once everything started to settle down for Beamsy's birthday party, and landed on a little cinematic classic that goes by the name of Roadhouse. Now, it wasn't on one of the premium channels, so it wasn't the full Roadhouse experience, but it was enough that I could bounce around between that and the sports. You know what was interesting? I gravitated to the hockey more than the baseball. I kept going back and checking in on Pens Rangers a little bit as they opened last night. I didn't see any of the Panthers and Blackhawks, which happened earlier, but I did watch a little bit of Pens Rangers last night, which was fun. I thought the Rangers looked great in the throwback kits, 100th anniversary for them. I thought they looked very good in that. Where are you guys? I know, Bake, you said you divorced baseball. You were August, you're out, and I know the Reds maybe pulled you back in for a minute or two, but not for much. Reese, where are you? Are you watching the baseball? Or are you out?
Nope. Yeah, it was Cavs basketball last night.
What did they do?
Preseason game number
for God's
1.
Sakes.
They failed Chicago 118-117 in Cleveland. Someone named Javon Carter was really, really, really good down the stretch for the Bulls. Isaac Okoro now plays for Chicago. Forgot about that because of the Lonzo Ball trade. But had it on Peacock, and Noah Eagle and Reggie Miller were doing that preseason game.
Noah Eagle and Reggie Miller did Cavs Bulls preseason basketball?
Yeah. It was pretty good.
Wow.
So, no, I didn't pay any attention to the baseball. Is that that's a thing?
Well, no, you know how I feel about it. But I was curious. So my theory on it is that if it's in your market, you care.
No, yeah, I'm out.
Otherwise, I think people are out.
I mean, your Dodgers, Bo, they go for the sweep today. It's the team of your youth.
They do.
Come on now.
Yeah, they do. They do go. They do go for that. The baseball actually has had a very good wild card week. That week they did pretty well. Their average numbers on that were $4.65 million for the wild card, which was up about 20% from what it was a year ago. My hunch is a lot of that had to do with the fact that one of those series were Yankees and Red Sox in prime time, that probably contributed to it a lot. But either way, you take it if you're Major League Baseball. So that's what their ratings were throughout the week. So just to give you a comparison, last weekend, Vanderbilt Bama did 6.4 million, and FSU Miami was around 6 million was the ratings on that. So that's what those numbers shook out to. I haven't seen any Ohio State, Minnesota TV ratings. That was an NBC. See if I can get what that is. I'm just curious where that kind of. So
might it just be me, or does NBC never release their numbers outside of like maybe a Notre Dame game?
I don't think it is you. I don't think they do. So Big Noon, the Big Noon Saturday game was 4.6. Michigan over Wisconsin, 4.6 on Big Noon. I do wonder if it's starting to fade a little bit, because the idea that some of these ESPN games are outrating, and they are. I mean, kind of across the board, they're outrating the Big Ten. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Something that I'd be a little concerned with if I were the Big Ten.
You think maybe that's just because people head straight to ESPN?
That's what I think.
And then they don't go?
Chris Holtman, I know he was so on that one. I remember him talking to me about it when he was when this whole thing first happened. And he said, he goes, it matters to be on ESPN. It's still the place that people go to first looking for sports. However you get it, linear, app, whatever, YouTube TV, it's the place you've been conditioned for 40 years to go, and you still do. And I think that's part of it, Bake. I do.
And I will say this as one who was going to search for the hockey last night. It was nice turning my TV on, and whatever the last thing I had watched was ESPN, and boom, it was already right there. I was like, we don't have to look. All three of these games tonight are on ESPN, so I sat down and partook in a little bit of each of them. Your Nick buddy, Nick Foligno, first fight of the season last night of the whole NHL season. He dropped the gloves. Those Rangers uniforms you talked about were brilliant. I don't know if you caught any of the Kings afterwards.
I didn't.
But the Kings kind of surprisingly dropped new uniforms as well. I thought the jersey was amazing. The silver chrome helmet I could have done without, but the jersey itself looked really cool.
All right, I need to look at what they did.
With the Cavs and the Bulls being on Peacock, I was really thinking to myself, like, I'm going to be thrilled when the RSNs go away. Because the Jackets have 2 games on ESPN, Big Boy ESPN this season. I know a lot of them are available on ESPN+, but they'll be blacked out in this market as FanDuel Sports Network is the broadcast partner, and I think they signed an agreement through this season. And the press release yesterday said, like, with excitement for future seasons, I go, please no. Please don't.
These Kings unis are different.
Yeah. And I believe, didn't they have something similar to that back when they were yellow and purple?
They did. So it's the
Purple and gold,
67 sweater main logo, but except they were purple and gold in the late 60s, and they went to black and silver.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like that. Is that their primary? Or is that what they're
I'm not sure. I didn't pay attention to all of that. I just know it was kind of a little bit of a surprise. Like, I don't think anybody knew those were coming out.
Well, the other thing, you get, and this is, you have to own your own ignorance sometimes, and I will certainly own this bit of ignorance. One of the things I was curious about in the NHL is if Connor McDavid would ever get to free agency. And he was going to get to free agency after this year. And I thought that would have been fascinating if he would have followed the path of Messier, although Messier won cups, obviously, in Edmonton, but if he would have followed that road and gone somewhere else. And then he did a 2-year extension that I realized last night, that he did a 2-year extension at some point, and so he's going to spend basically his entire prime in Edmonton.
By the way, it's very team friendly.
Took the Jose Ramirez deal.
I'm not sure if he's like waiting for the salary cap to go up even more, but I'm pretty sure after the deal Kaprizov signed last week that McDavid was looking at $20 million a year. He signed for 25 over 2. So just 12.5. Like, if the Oilers don't get it done in the next 2 years, I'm guessing he's waving bye-bye.
But he'll be 30 then.
He's still, I mean.
I know, but I'm just saying, like.
Look at Crosby. Crosby's 38, and he's still going strong.
Yeah, but like the peak of his powers is he's now in it. It's 25 to 32, barring injury. That's the peak of your powers, right? So, like...
Well, Edmonton better...
the pressure on them is
They
so
better
immense.
do something and get him a cup in the next 2 years because...
More pressure there or Toronto? I mean, Toronto has more pressure, just period, just because of the size of the market.
Yeah, like historic-wise, it's probably Toronto, but, like, you're going to lose the best player in the sport, probably, if you don't get it done in the next 2.
And you know this about McDavid. If he doesn't win a cup, he can't be in that conversation no matter how brilliant he is.
Probably not.
Because everybody who's best ever is cups. They all have won cups. Lemieux, Gretzky, Howe, Crosby, all won cups. Ovechkin, cups. Like he needs that. He needs that part of it. Jackets debut tomorrow in Nashville. Not the ideal start for them, going 2 roadies and then getting a home Monday opener. Not ideal, but they'll make the most of it. And we'll have Porty coming up at 11:30 to give us his view on how we ought to feel about this team going forward. As for a way that's going to make you feel better, we've got that for you right now at 821-9710 is the phone number. We've got tickets to the Columbus Italian Fest. You can go hug Uncle Dom. It's October 10th, 11th, and 12th. Bring the Columbus Italian Fest 45th anniversary of the streets of Italian Village. Cheer a bocce tournament. Step to Italian line dancing or be enthralled with Italian music. Everywhere. Free parking at Columbus State. Hop on the free shuttle to festival grounds. Many wait all year for 3 days to devour one of the best voted pizzas in the region. Skip the line, buy tickets online, and save $3 at ColumbusItalianFest.com. Come for the pizzas, stay for the festival. We're giving a 4-pack bake. Let's do 4-pack. Let's do it. We'll do that to the fourth caller at 821-9710. We'll play a little higher, lower on the other side of this quick timeout. Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Kurgis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Kurgis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
Matty Ice here. How far are you willing to drive for a great deal on a new vehicle? Well, I made the short drive north to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion and got my new car. And right now, you can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 with up to $12,000 off MSRP for qualified buyers. They believe in a no-hassle sales experience so you can get the truck you want at a price you'll love without the stress. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
You ever feel like your money is just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money is always doing something.
Like what?
Like automatically pushing more to savings so you can take that trip.
I like trips.
Who doesn't? It even tracks your progress. You're almost there.
Well, I better pack.
And it charts your spending so you know which vacation hat you can afford.
How does it know I like hats?
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
You've heard about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Yeah, that's an old one. My dad told that one to me. But when it's your real feet, it's not a game. It's awful. Hey, it's Anthony. I had pain in my feet and my lower back, so I went to the Good Feet store and got the support I needed in my shoes that changed the game for me. I went in and they personally fit me for arch supports that would be perfect for my feet. The fitting process is simple. They ask the right questions about exactly what I was experiencing and the lifestyle I want to be able to live. They professionally measured my feet and arch size, and before I knew it, I was wearing my new arch supports home. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put into all of my shoes. Get professionally fitted at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED and low T can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 614-300-7400. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at columbusmensclinic.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, low T, Peyronie's, size, and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic workouts and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 614-300-7400 or book in 30 seconds or less at columbusmensclinic.com. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Skyline's new chicken chili is here. Now you can enjoy that legendary Skyline taste with a new protein option. Try Skyline's chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. Feeling good. It's Skyline time.
Dormar, your pilot hero. Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 1, Ohio State's a 14.5-point favorite at number 17, Illinois, this Saturday. It'll be a noon kick from Memorial Stadium. Buckeyes have won the last 9 games in the series. Hear from OSU's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day radio show. Ohio State's at Wisconsin next Saturday. It'll be a 3:30 kick from Madison. In the NFL, the Browns sent Joe Flacco to the Bengals on Monday. Cincinnati could start Flacco on Sunday against the Green Bay Packers. Week 6 in the league starts tomorrow night with the Giants hosting the Eagles at 8:15. In the NHL, the Panthers hung a Stanley Cup banner on Tuesday, then beat the Blackhawks 3-2. The Blue Jackets begin their regular season Thursday at the Nashville Predators. And in the NBA, the Cavaliers began the preseason with a 1-point loss to the Bulls last night in Cleveland. This update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Taking the art of sports radio and day drinking to a whole new level. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, Jake Trotter coming up in 29 minutes from now. Between then and now, time for a little higher, lower.
Bishop and Friends present Higher or Lower.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling today at 614-232-2222 or visit online at thewaterworks.com.
Is it week 7 of the college football season?
Dude. How are we still like 3 weeks away from like the absurd playoff rankings?
Yeah, Tuesday, November 4th will be the first day we are graced by the College Football Playoff Committee.
You think they'll put a muzzle on Ward Manuel so he doesn't say something that they can't take back?
Oh, no, he's got to be out front and center.
Who's chairing it this year? Do we even know? Who's chairing that thing?
I mean,
what a mess.
You can't have a more perfect guy than the name of Ward.
No. He's perfect in every way. He really is.
I wonder who selects for the committee. Anyway, the Associated Press has their top 25 out most Sundays shortly after noon. And this week, Ohio State retains the top spot. Buckeyes got 40 first-place votes. Following them, Miami moves up a spot. The Hurricanes get 21 first-place votes. At number 3, Oregon. Ducks are getting 5 first-place votes. At number 4, Ole Miss. Rebels are 5-0. At number 5, also 5-0, up 1, Texas A&M. Higher or lower for the Aggies at 5?
I think the first 3 are no notes. I do think Oregon's a little better than Miami, but I don't have any problem with Miami being 2 based on who they've played and the quality wins that they have and the way that they've appointed themselves. So I don't have any problem with Miami being 2. Buckeyes should be 1, Miami 2, Oregon 3. I'm up for a conversation around 4, 5, 6. I don't think, as currently constructed, Oklahoma's the 6th best team in the country because they don't have a healthy Johnny Mateer. And I think I'm the only one calling him Johnny. I think everybody else calls him John Mateer. I just like the sound of Johnny Mateer, so that's why I'm doing it. So I can't have them that high. I think that if Ole Miss plays Texas A&M, I would probably I'd be rooting for Ole Miss, but I think I might be believing in A&M a little bit more. That's kind of my feeling on it right now. But I think those 2 teams, although they go about it very differently, are pretty similar. I think Indiana deserves a little bit more respect, and I know we'll get to them in a second. But I would probably go Ohio State, Miami, Oregon, A&M, Ole Miss would probably be the way I'd do that 5.
By the way, Mac Rhodes, the athletic director at Baylor, is chairing the CFP this year.
Solve everything.
I have Texas A&M right at number 5. My path there is just a fuzz different, though. I have Ohio State, Oregon, Miami. Mm-hmm. I don't care if Mateer's out because they're going to be undefeated when he gets back because they're beating Texas this week with or without him. So I have Oklahoma number 4, then A&M at 5.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma with Mateer. That's why when we did this on Monday, and I'm like, if I gave you Ohio State, Miami, Oregon, and Oklahoma with Mateer, the field, which would you take? Give me those 4. I would take those 4 over the field.
So you said the Sooners are at 6. At number 7, the Indiana Hoosiers at 8. The Alabama Crimson Tide at 9. Texas Tech at 10. The Georgia Bulldogs. Higher or lower for Georgia at 10?
So this is where you got to do that thing that's difficult for all of us, right? And it goes to how important brand is and how much you pay attention to what people are historically. Because in my gut, what I was about to say is if Georgia played Indiana, Georgia, I think, would be a significant favorite. And by significant, more than 1 score. 7.5, 8, something like that would be my guess on what the line would be on that. So is Georgia better than Indiana? I'll tell you what, you're going to find out Saturday. Indiana goes to Oregon. I would probably keep this exactly as it is, 7 through 10. I'd probably keep it right how it is. But, for example, if you were to tell me, and I'll pose this question to both of you, if I said the Vass Reeser estate, the Vass Baker estate is on the line, and Indiana is playing Alabama or Georgia, who you got?
Can I ask where they're playing?
Neutral.
Give me the SEC teams.
So I have Bama beating them for sure. Georgia probably would, but I think it's close. Mm-hmm. That's why I have Bama number 6, Texas Tech 7, Indiana 8, Ole Miss 9. And I don't know why. Mm-hmm. I still believe in this LSU team. I actually have them at number 10 above Georgia, who's number 11. So right in the right spot for Georgia. I have them 1 lower.
That conversation around Georgia, LSU, Bama.
Really all the SEC teams.
I don't know the difference between Ole Miss and A&M too, honestly. Like, I think Oklahoma's got the highest ceiling of them with Mateer, but without him, they're down in that mix too. Ty Simpson's been really good at Alabama, but they're not great running it. You can move it on them. That game with Vandy was much closer than that final score would lead you to believe. It's a hodgepodge down there. There is no real separation.
So at number 12 on the AP Top 25 for Week 7 are the Tennessee Volunteers. At 13, the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. 14's Missouri. At 15, the enemy of mankind, Michigan. Higher or lower for the Wolverines at 15?
I would have them a little bit lower. than this. I'm not. So they have them as what, the 5th highest ranked one-loss team behind all the SEC teams?
That's correct.
Yeah. So I kind of think Notre Dame might be better than them, even though Notre Dame has the 2 losses. I do think I'm not at all excited about seeing them at the end of the year, because I think the way that what they're doing, no one's going to want to hear it, but the way they're going about their business, running the football with Justice Haynes, and then what Underwood is getting better at each week, doesn't make me real thrilled about them, because I think it's going to be really formidable up there at the end of the year. But I think for right now, I'd probably have them slightly lower, but this is right in the area. What's weird, though, is like I think they'd beat Georgia Tech. I think they'd beat Tennessee. I'm not sure if they beat Missouri, if that makes sense.
So this is pretty close to the area for Michigan. I have them 2 spots lower at 17 if I was doing this. So a little lower. But again, a lot of these teams right here, you're splitting hairs.
At 16, the Fighting Irish. 17, the Illini. 18, BYU. 19, Virginia. 20, Vanderbilt. 21, Arizona State. 22, Iowa State. 23, Memphis. 24, South Florida. 25, Florida State. Higher or lower for the Seminoles at 25?
Well, here's my real problem here. Get them out, first and foremost. Get them out. They've lost back-to-back games. They lost to Miami. They lost at Virginia. Like, I'm done with them. They got to get back in. Why are they given all of this grace and Washington isn't? Why is Washington not ranked? Why is USC not ranked?
Cincinnati even.
Yeah, it's like if you lose in the Big Ten, like USC lost at Illinois, and somehow that is more damaging than Florida State losing to Virginia and at home to Miami. How does that make any sense? Washington's only loss is to Ohio State. They've beaten everybody else, including a really good Maryland team that all the way across the country in a gritty game. Why is Washington not ranked? Why is this league so disrespected juxtaposed to the other one, where you have all the grace in the world? If you're in the South, you can lose all you want, and it's fine. You stay in. Why are Washington and why is Washington and why are USC not ranked? Both of those teams should be ranked.
So I have not been a believer in Florida State all along, even though they did beat Bama to start the year. I just think that was one of those games. Like, Tommy Castellanos was benched at Boston College. I feel like people forget that. Like, he's just an okay quarterback, but he was benched last year at Boston College, who was not very good. 25's too high for Florida State. Get them out of there. I feel like Utah's better than them. Washington should definitely be in the top 25. It's ridiculous that they're not. So, yeah, get Florida State out of there.
Just interesting to note, Cincinnati, 129 points. They lead the others receiving votes category. Texas, 111. Penn State, 97 points. Utah, 82. Nebraska, 60. USC, 46. Washington, only 10 points.
It's a joke. That's a joke. They are good. Put some respect on the Huskies, man. That was a tough win going over to College Park and getting a win at Maryland. Across the country, coming off of a loss at home to Ohio State. That showed some guts, man. Washington's good. USC's good. I'm curious about Nebraska. They need to keep winning, but I think both Washington and USC should be in that top 25, and I think it's criminal that they're not, especially considering some of the teams that get all the benefit of the doubt. What have you seen from Tennessee that you're like, oh, yeah, that's the 12th best team in the country, other than their uniform? Like, what do you see? One team you did not see on there is North Carolina. And as bad as we thought it would go, it's going a whole lot worse. We'll get into that coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
At Retail Rush, you can find name brand products at unbeatable prices. We source products from big box stores and auction them online starting at $5. Get up to 90% off retail prices on home decor, lawn and garden, and more. Bid now at retailrush.com.
Timmy Hall and AI Common Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook.
This ain't one of them, Timmy.
It's not the show, it's a spot. All October, we're watching our football team on Saturdays and the tailgate buffet.
Ooh, Mikey likey. Plus, they've got the 3 apps for $12 deal, and you can beat the crowds and reserve a table.
Yes, do that at HollywoodColumbus.com. And we got a special offer this month. Become a new member of our rewards program on the ESPN Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Realtors usually charge you 6% to sell your house, but not my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They take 1%. It's in the name. And this is full service. No shortcuts, no for sale by owner crapola. They do it all. Call 614-451-6616.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ooh.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
Morning Juice is now live on YouTube. Join Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Thidoff weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
Just search 971 The Fan to catch the live experience or watch on demand.
The Fan.
Fraud in government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars. I'm Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber, and my job is to catch people that lie, cheat, and steal, report suspicious behavior, and help stop fraud. Learn the red flags, speak up, and protect your tax dollars by calling 1-866-FRAUD-OH.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Finally feeling more like fall than we have in a while. We'll see plenty of sunshine today, but temperatures only topping out in the mid to upper 60s. We get pretty cold tonight with mostly clear skies overnight. Lows will be down into the mid to upper 30s in some spots to low 40s. And then for Thursday, plenty of sun in the forecast, but even cooler with our highs in the mid to low 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with a 10 Weather Impact forecast.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Distilled sports discussion served in light beer quantities. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And we are proudly sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for over 78 years. Do you guys remember when Bill Belichick was hired at North Carolina and there was this cascade of people who don't pay attention to what's actually going on in college football and have no real point of reference on where the sport is, would get on platforms and say things like, well, he's going to bring an NFL approach to college football. And now there's no difference between the NFL and college. And they're going to bring Mike Lombardi, and Mike Lombardi's going to scout like he did when he was a general manager. And we came on the air here, and what did we say? Yeah, you know what? Florida State, when I got there in 2001, they were doing that. They were doing that in 2001. That's 25 years old. And anybody who's been around college football knows that. Everybody who's been around college football has known that for the longest time. And we were pretty dialed in on this in terms of this was going to be a massive struggle bus. And the idea that hiring Mike Lombardi as some sort of general manager, that somehow he was going to have connections and he was somehow going to be able to help them draft players and sign players. Buddy, college football is about relationships. It's about relationships. It's about money too now. Always probably has been to a certain extent. But it's about relationships, and you have none. You don't know coaches. You don't know recruits. You don't know parents. You don't know any of it. You're starting from ground zero. And so I knew this would be really tough. This is worse than even I thought in year one.
33rd NFL team.
Remember that?
It's a novel concept. Like, we had never seen anything like that. Like, no pipeline or no program in the country, certainly not the one in Columbus, had been preparing its players. A general manager,
you heard of Mark Pantoni?
Of the football team? What a novel concept.
I remember saying, like, what if they were serious about it, they should have paid like one of Pantoni's lieutenants like a bunch of money to go down there and institute some of that stuff down there, implement some of that stuff down there. I'd say Mark, but I don't want Mark to ever leave. Like, whatever is necessary to keep him happy. Country music concerts in his backyard, fine. Whatever you need, we'll take care of it. Keep him here as long as possible. But that's how naive they were to it was stunning. And it very much similar was, and I hate to throw a stray here, it's very similar to Urban in the NFL.
Just arrogant.
Yeah, and also oblivious. When Urban got the job in Jacksonville, I remember saying this, I bet you he hasn't watched an NFL game in a decade. He was in a bunker, man. He was in a college football bunker. He had that press conference early on where he said, like, I expect us to be 250 rushing, 250 passing. Like he was still coaching Ohio State against Purdue. This is a National Football League. Like, that don't happen, man, anymore. And same thing with Belichick, except this actually might be worse. So they got a disaster on their hands. Penn State, we went over like Clemson's scoring drives, their first 4 scoring drives, like a total of 10 plays and 28 points, just dominant on all fronts. And so now this story out of WRAL in Raleigh has a bunch of stuff to it. Unnamed source, firsthand knowledge of the program. It's an unstructured mess. There's no culture, no organization. It's a complete disaster. One parent told WRAL that the 6-time Super Bowl championship coach has created a troubling environment. It all starts at the top, and the boys are being affected. Parent of a current North Carolina player. I don't fault the players. I fault the leadership that created this toxic environment. There's an individualistic mindset. The boys are young, and they're feeding into it. There are 2 guys, the outlet listed 2 players, Kamori House and Thaddeus Dixon, who previously played for Belichick's son Steve at Washington, as names that their sources brought up when discussing preferential treatment. Dixon's family has field access on game days, something that no other family is believed to have had. There's no communication with coaches and parents, period. None, zero, zilch, not one email from a coach, 1 text, 1 phone call, nothing. He also scrapped. They were supposed to do like a behind-the-scenes chronicling the season with North Carolina football on Hulu. That's already been scrapped. That's out. So this is an unmitigated disaster that, quite honestly, as much as I saw a lot of this coming, because my hunch is it would be very similar to Urban going to the NFL, and that Bill has lived in one world his whole professional life. And he's going to this world, which really, the sport's the same, but the tasks, despite some of the similarities, it still is completely different in terms of what you're doing day to day. And honestly, Bill probably would have been better off going to college football 20 years ago or 15 years ago or 10, where you didn't have NIL and portal and all of the stuff that you have now. But in this instance, with his style, I see no scenario how he can hold people accountable for anything. And if you're North Carolina, you probably need to bail on this thing before it goes any further.
I wonder, have you invested too much money into it to not give it a second year? Like there was that report that Lombardi had circulated an email with UNC boosters saying, hey, just give us a chance to bring in our guys. Ignore all of the guys that we brought in before the season. No. We'll get a chance to bring in our freshman class that's coming in. Just give us that opportunity. This is comical, but it's sad because they're the worst team in the Power Four.
They're up there.
I mean, the UCLA would hang 30, 35, 40 on them.
It's such an interesting thing because there was a time in sports where if you bailed, now, you didn't give it time. Like, you remember there was a time if you drafted a quarterback in the first round, you had to keep them through their rookie contract because it set your franchise back. Well, that's not the case anymore. And listen, this thing with Belichick, he's 73. It was never a long-term solution.
No.
It never made any sense because of that. And, it would be even different if you were bringing in Mac Brown, who was going out the door, because Mac Brown had at least coached in college football and had some success.
Yeah.
And Bill Belichick might be the greatest football coach of all time.
Or not.
But that was in a different sport and at a different time. And it's just it's pretty crazy. And I think in a situation like this where he's 73, I think you pull ripcord pretty quick.
I would. I'd punt on it. They're recruiting right now. The recruiting class is 17th in the country. They have 36 commits. 36 guys. Okay, 36 commits. That's good for 17th in the country. The average player rating certainly wouldn't be that high, but in terms of the total numbers, that's where they're at. I don't think you can wait much longer on this. If you're curious, the Buckeyes are 9th, but they have the number 4 overall player grade behind Oregon, LSU, and Bama. I would pull ripcord on this thing right away. I would punt. I see no scenario how this train gets back on the tracks. And Lombardi's arrogance especially is stupefying to me. That he really, and I've heard from people who worked with him up in Cleveland and are aware of how he goes about his business. The idea that he thought that he could come in and have the answers to the test on a sport where it's built entirely differently and that they would have some sort of immediate impact. It's crazy. And I do wonder if this will be something that is a bit of an albatross on Belichick's resume. Like, does he have enough time to run away from this? Because he's probably not going to get another job anywhere.
Like, we talk about players playing themselves out of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He's obviously a Hall of Fame coach, and his resume is going to put him in Canton one day. But is there a whole generation of people that have no idea that Bill Belichick was once the most dominant thing in the sport?
Well, if you've only been watching football the last 10 years.
Right. Fell off without Brady, and then he was out of football because no one wanted to put up with him.
Mm-hmm.
And now UNC gave him a bunch of money, and we're looking at that as one of the biggest wastes. I mean, you're just lighting money on UNC lit money on fire. Like, the return on the investment thing has got to be worse in this than almost any other college football endeavor.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, I'd pull ripcord if I were them. We just did higher lower in the previous segment, so I was curious, like, if we took the Associated Press poll right now and applied it to a college football playoff, and this is why I get so heated with all the SEC teams that are ranked and the Big Ten teams that aren't. You're about ready to see why. If the college football playoff started right now, if you can just envision this for your head, if you're listening, the 12-5 matchup, I'll go top to bottom. The 12-5 would be Memphis against Texas A&M. So Memphis would be the non-Power 4 that's highest ranked. So it'd be 12-5. The 8-9 would be Bama as the 8, Texas Tech as the 9. The 6-11 is an all-SEC fest, Oklahoma and LSU. The 7-10 is Indiana hosting Georgia in Bloomington. So the 5-12 winner would feed into Ole Miss. So Texas A&M would be favored. You'd have Texas A&M and Ole Miss in that one. Bama and Texas Tech, the winner there would feed here. So that would be your Ohio State matchup. You imagine a quarterfinal, Ohio State, Bama. LSU and Oklahoma, the winner there would get Oregon, and then Georgia, Indiana, the winner there would get Miami. So that's how the bracket would work if you just took the AP poll right now and applied it to the college football playoff. That's why this amount of SEC teams that are ranked, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them in a 12-team playoff, can't have it. Can't have it. So they've got to get that figured out, and hopefully the College Football Playoff Committee will get it figured out. 2 minutes from now, Jake Trotter, senior college football reporter, joins us, Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. We have had some good weather over this fall. It's been mostly warm, but sooner or later, it's going to get cold. Maybe you're already starting to feel it in your house because your old drafty windows are letting in that air. Could be the builder grade windows that just came with your house. You thought you were getting great windows. It turns out they weren't as good as you thought. That's where Window Nation can help. This month, you can buy 2 windows and you'll get 2 more for free. There is no limit to how many windows you replace. Plus, your total price includes 1-day installation. Window Nation also has a deal where you don't have to make any payments for 2 years. Is that going to help out with your holiday bills a little bit? I would think so. And above and beyond all that, Window Nation also is giving away tickets to an Ohio State football game when you upgrade your home with Window Nation windows. Free windows, 0 payments for 2 years, all with Window Nation. Go to windownation.com. The estimate is free, the windows are great, and you can get Ohio State tickets. What's not to love? Go to windownation.com today. Once again, that's windownation.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let me introduce you to a man with a magnificent salt and pepper beard. A man who's currently roasting lamb on a spit. A man who runs the Rocky River Greek Festival. That man is Jake Trotter.
Indeed it is, and he joins on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, senior college football reporter at ESPN. Do you believe me now on Penn State?
I'm off the bandwagon, Bo, officially and indefinitely. What a terrible loss.
You've been over there. Mm-hmm. What do you make of that job?
The James Franklin job? Like, is it a good job? Is that what you're asking me?
The Penn State job. That program.
I think it's a good. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good job. It's a little different than, say, Ohio State or Michigan, but I mean, you've got 100,000 people in the stadium. You've got a ton of support. You're in a state that has pretty good high school talent, and you're adjacent to another one in Ohio, which has a bunch more. So you've got everything you need. I don't think the Big Ten, even the expanded Big Ten, is overwhelming. Like, you can make the playoff at Penn State, as we saw last year. And, you know, with Ohio State, you lose to Michigan, it's the end of the world. Everybody wants you fired. Penn State can lose those games, and you don't feel that rancor in the same way. So, like, in terms of a coach, I think it's a really good job. I think you get a really good head coach there. And it's inexplicable that they're 1-18 against top 10 Big Ten opponents. I mean, that's even worse than the 4-21, the overall against top 10. 1-18, the Big Ten, means you just never beat anyone good in conference. And I mean, even UCLA has as many top 10 wins, or whoever the coach at UCLA is now.
Whoever Jerry Neuheisel's boss is?
Yeah, right. I can't even tell you off the top of my head what his name is.
Either.
He has as many top 10 wins as James Franklin. It's crazy.
Yeah, and, you know, the thing that is interesting to me, and this is why I have a hard time, because sometimes I'll say here on the show, I think I want Penn State to be great more than they do. Because the standard, and I'm sure you're aware of this, but just so the audience remembers, you know, Penn State, they opted out of playing Ohio State and Michigan every year. They tabled it under we're unrivaled. But like when the Big Ten said pick 2 teams you want to play every year, Ohio State put down Michigan and Penn State. Penn State wrote nobody, Jake. Nobody. So, that's why they're not on the schedule next year, because they don't want to have to deal with it. So just think about that mentality. And it's hard to find another, because I'm with you. I think it's a really good job, too. And I'm looking around the country. I'm like, what's a job that's similar, that is so satisfied with what it is and so fearful for what would happen if they miss on a coaching hire, that they just keep kind of peddling in, not mediocrity, they're not that, but just peddling in good, never great.
That's interesting. I haven't thought about like a comp for Penn State. You know, Texas and Ohio State, they get compared to one another, but I can tell you the pressure at Ohio State is way bigger than it is at Texas. It just is. Like
I think Oklahoma's closer to Ohio State, but you could correct me on that.
Oklahoma's closer to Ohio State. Oklahoma's more success than Texas.
Way more, yeah.
Like when you look, when you just, if you go back to the World War II era, but Ohio State has just more resources than Oklahoma does. Mm-hmm. So, Oklahoma has to kind of punch above its weight to contend at that level. But yeah, it's almost a little bit of, it's not that way now, but there have been stretches where Texas was kind of okay with being 10-2 and not beating Oklahoma. You don't get fired at Texas for losing to Oklahoma. You get fired at Oklahoma for losing to Texas, just like you do if you're the head coach at Ohio State. So there is a little bit of, now that you got me thinking about it, there is a little bit of I think a Texas comp to Penn State, but Texas is still just a better program, and it's got infinitely more resources and is in the hotbed of high school football talent. So yeah, could you win a national title, Penn State? Yeah, sure. Could you win Big Ten titles? Yeah, I think you could. They just have a weird mentality there right now, and the Oregon game and the UCLA game, but the Oregon game especially, and I was there. Following it closely, and I just don't understand their mentality in these big games where they're not trying to, they play not to win, or they play not to lose, I should say.
Yes.
Like there's just nothing they do that is aggressive or imposing, and it's just kind of corroded the entire program at this point.
I'm only laughing because that's what it's been for a decade. Is that
I'm just now learning. I know
what they are, man.
You mentioned Texas. Late to the club.
Welcome aboard. Waters are warm. Yeah. You mentioned Texas. What in the blue hell is going on down there?
Well, this weekend is going to be. This college football weekend is going to be fascinating. Whether you look at, Eugene, Alabama, Missouri is another one. Watch out for Missouri. Speaking of former Penn State quarterbacks, Bo Prabilla. Is having a better year than Drew Aller. And then you go down to Red River. And, Buckeyes at Illinois, too, is interesting. But you go down to Red River, and is John Mateer playing? I think he's going to try. But, how effective is he going to be? And, if you take Brent Venables at his word, he's not really practicing much yet, at least as of yesterday. Michael Hawkins, the backup, more of a running quarterback. But again, I kind of like Oklahoma in this game, regardless of who the quarterback is. I just have no confidence in Arch Manning in Texas. I thought Florida was going to win that game, and this is a very, mediocre Florida team by their standards. This kind of feels like an 8-4 Texas team, honestly, when you look at the rest of their schedule. And I mean, they can get a little momentum if they beat OU. And this is also a game where weird things happen. You don't know what to expect. I've seen a lot of crazy finishes and unexpected heroes in that game over the years. But if Oklahoma beats Texas, this season could really spiral a little bit for them. And then it's kind of where do you go from here? Because this was kind of supposed to be the year that you finally got over the top after knocking on the door, and now you're going in the wrong direction, Steve Sarkisian.
How could so many of us be so wrong on not just Arch, and he's going to get the brunt of it, but the talent around him? I mean, they can't run it. They can't block it. They don't really have anybody scary on the outside. They were the number one team in the country. How did we get this so wrong?
And if you ask Ohio State players who the best team they played last year, you know the answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
They would say Texas.
Yep.
I don't think it was close for a lot of them. I mean, I think they felt like that was their toughest game, and I think that's why they were so celebratory afterward. They knew that they just beaten the second best team in the country, and all they had to do then was beat Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw how the way that they controlled that game in a way that they didn't against Texas. I don't know, like a lot of their guys have just not popped. Like Colin Simmons is supposed to be one of the best pass rushing ends in the country. I don't think he has a sack yet. Is that right? He definitely hasn't been impactful.
No.
You look at their skill players, like there's no one that sticks out. Not like, Bijan Robinson, nobody like that.
No.
And then you look at, defensively, they're just kind of like, okay, like they have a lot of good players, but nobody that's playing at a high level. Like Anthony Hill, their secondary, it's just nothing has really stood out. And then you add in the arch mediocrity factor, and they're just kind of like an okay team. Are they a top 5 SEC team right now? No, not even close.
Mm-mm. All right. You've been to Red River a lot. It's bucket list for me. Been in the South for a while, been up here for a while. So I've seen, I think, all of the rest of the ones that would be considered bucket list, except this one. Give me a minute or two on what makes Red River special. What's the vibe of it? How would you recommend somebody who doesn't have ties to either one going about it?
Well, it's so different than any college football setting in America. It is inside the Texas State Fair. So you got to walk through the fair to get to the Cotton Bowl Stadium. It's the only venue where it's exactly 50-50 in college football. And it's divided down the 50-yard line. And you don't really see any crimson on the orange side and vice versa. And I can tell you right now, I don't know what you think of corn dogs. This have the best corn dog you will ever have right outside the main gate at the 50-yard line. On the this would be the OU side. Maybe it's the Texas side of the state. I don't know. The home side, whoever the home team is.
Okay.
The home side. And I have tried to go down at halftime to get a corn. You can't. The line's too long. But I have a tradition when I used to go to that game every year of getting a corn dog on the way out. And they are off the charts. The best. I don't know what they do. And they have some other, they have a ton of fun stuff to eat. Like if you like fried, just name a food product, they probably have it there. But the corn dog is the best. And then just what's really fun is the winning team, their entire crowd stays and the losing team empties out. And so especially if you're covering a blowout there, you'll just have half the stadium full going nuts and the other half just completely dejected, and the band stays around and rubs it in after the game. It's just so great. It's fun, and a lot of great finishes there over the years. It to me, having covered a lot of these, I think you're looking at Red River, Ohio State, Michigan, Army, Navy, I think are the top 3, and I don't think there's another one in the conversation.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I've not been to an Iron Bowl, so I got to imagine that in Birmingham had to be crazy, but
top
on campus
5.
Too. Got to be.
Yeah, top 5. But again, Auburn's not on the level of Alabama, so that to me is why it's not quite there. Although they've had some wild finishes.
They have. So I've been to the cocktail party, and they do the 50-50 split too, but that is very much in its name. It's just a massive party.
Yeah, it's like hangout. We're going to go hang out.
And they don't like each other, but it feels like they're never both great. So, they just take turns dominating in it. So I think that's another thing that really separates Red River is that usually they're on a similar kind of pecking order. So I think that gives it its spot, too. And I do love that it's the first Saturday in October. I think it's awesome. So it's one I got to get to. Appreciate you, buddy.
No doubt. See you, Bo.
All right, there he goes. Jake Trotter, senior college football reporter at ESPN, joining on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We'll do a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime and Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly. Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Fox Wednesday. The Floor has a game-changing new twist. The category steal.
I'm going to go for it.
Rob Lowe hosts The Floor. Then, 71 contestants are closer to the million.
Everyone needs to keep their cool, including you.
And the only thing in their way are seemingly simple games.
You must thread a needle. You are not allowed to touch.
I've never been this stressed in my life. Ken Jeong and Aaron Andrews host 99 to Beat.
Tonight, starting at 8 on Fox 28.
At the end of the day, the sun sets on Central Ohio, but stories are still unfolding. Every voice, every neighborhood, every question that still needs answers. Fox 28 News at 10 is there in the quiet moments and at the turning points, digging deeper, finding solutions, lifting up the communities that shape who we are. At the end of the day, you deserve a team that's on your side. Fox 28 News at 10, always on your side.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey friends, Beamer here. In the spirit of Halloween, Awaken 180 is offering free consultations. Learn how scary fast and how scary easy losing weight can be. For mine, I brought all the questions, and in the end, Awaken 180 was an absolute no-brainer for me. Determine if Awaken 180 is right for you. The free consultations end October 31st. Reserved by phone only at 844-346-1800. For details and the number, visit awaken180weightloss.com. Scary easy with scary fast results.
Ready for your next truck? At Krieger Ford, we have just what you're looking for. Trade in your vehicle and get a new Ford F-150 with a black appearance package for $11,000 off MSRP. It's all part of the Krieger commitment. Best cars, best people, peace of mind. Visit us today on Morris Road in Columbus or find your new truck at KriegerFord.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at RunyonDentalGroup.com. That's RunyonDentalGroup.com.
Hello, big voice guy here. I've been hired to tell you all about the Fan's YouTube channel. Did you know you can immerse yourself in Buckeye goodness like Austin and Burb's daily podcast, The Beat? Yes, sirree, Bob. Subscribe today.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member. They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Pull up a stool and ask the bartender for something neat, because Uncle Bo is on the radio. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing and not a thing on a First Friday Miracle. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
On Tuesday, the Dallas Cowboys, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, was fined $250,000 by the NFL for flipping the bird toward fans at MetLife Stadium on Sunday. Videos on social media showed Jones from a ton of different angles flashing the middle finger after Dak Prescott's touchdown increased the Cowboys' lead to 37-14 over the Jets in the fourth quarter. Jones says he's going to appeal the fine. Speaking with 105.3 The Fan in Dallas yesterday, Jones says it was not meant as an insult.
That was unfortunate that was a kind of an exchange with our fans out in front of us. There was a swarm of Cowboy fans out in front, not Jet fans, Cowboy fans. And the entire stadium was brimming with the enthusiasm of Cowboys, and certainly late in the game. And that was inadvertent on my part because that was right after we'd made our last touchdown, and we were all excited about. There wasn't any antagonistic issue or anything like that. I just put up the wrong show on the hand, but that was inadvertently done. And I'm not kidding. It was, if you want to call it accidental, you can call it accidental, but it got straightened around pretty quick. I've had a chance to look at it. It got straightened around pretty quick, but the intention was thumbs up. And then basically pointing at our fans because everybody was jumping up and down excited.
Thing or not a thing?
I believe him. This is a man in his upper 80s, and he has no reason to lie. What does he care about $250,000? What does he care if he actually did do it? He talks every single Monday, as evidence here. He talks after every game. He's got nothing to hide. He's giving you everything in the documentary, good, bad, and different. I believe him. I'm going to choose to believe him.
So I don't think any of this is a thing, but I don't believe that he was trying to give someone a thumbs up. Like that was a deliberate middle finger somewhere. But what I was talking about with Reese earlier is maybe there's a group of Cowboy fans that kind of follow them everywhere, or I'm sure Jerry has spent some time in New York and knows some Cowboy fans that are there. Maybe they got tickets. Sure. Maybe he got them tickets in front of his box. And listen, we've all had a buddy come in the room and we look over and see him and we flip him off real quick. I feel like that's what Jerry was doing. He knew somebody in that group of people and he may have flipped them the bird. Now, he's got to be smarter than to do that in the enemy stadium in front of everybody in nowadays world. And maybe he just doesn't care, which is kind of funny that he brings up throwing a thumbs up. Like, I don't understand that. I don't believe that's the case, that he was trying to give someone a thumbs up. He was definitely flipping someone the bird, but I can see it being to someone he knew in a playful manner.
Yeah, do you think, do you ever do that? Like, sometimes you flip people the bird as a term of endearment? Like, my dad used to do that. When we got older and, we would be in the car driving off with my mom, he would flip us off and then laugh because we couldn't do anything back. Like, he thought it was one of the few things my dad thought was really funny was that. So I don't know and I don't think he seriously wanted us to do that. Maybe he did, I don't know. But that was always like a term, like a kind of like a term of endearment for him. To us when we were in high school.
Yeah, same kind of thing. Like your buddy walks in the room and you're like, ha, take that.
Right, yeah.
I've done it sarcastically, but I can't ever say I've done it as hey, great job or good luck or best wishes. Yeah. The Ravens are 1-4. They'll host the 3-2 LA Rams Sunday at 1. Following their 44-10 loss to the Texans last Sunday, Ravens coach John Harbaugh says he won't be making a defensive personnel change. Quote, I don't think that's the answer. We have to go to work is what we need to do. We need to stick together is what we need to do. We need to find ourselves, and that has to do with coaches and players together. Baltimore is 1-4 for the second time in the franchise's 30-year history. The 44 points are the most allowed by a Ravens in a home game in Harbaugh's 18 seasons in Baltimore. It was a low point for the Ravens defense, which allowed 5 touchdowns to a Texans team that had only scored 6 this season total. For what it's worth, Baltimore still trending towards Cooper Rush in Week 7 as Lamar Jackson continues to deal with a hamstring injury. The Ravens do have a bye next week. Thing or not a thing?
I don't think this is a thing. This was 6 days ago. The injury report in Baltimore. Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphrey, Lamar Jackson, Tyler Linderbaum, Adofe Owe, Roquan Smith, Patrick Ricard, Ronnie Stalley, Kyle Van Noy. You're fine. You're just hurt. You're just wounded. Like John Hart, they'll be fine. I think they're this year's Bengals. Right? Did they dig too big of a hole that you can't come all the way out of? I would be fearful of that because they're going to drop to 1-5. The Rams are going to get them on Sunday, so they'll drop to 1-5. But then they have a bye, and then they have their schedule really eases up, and they're going to be. No one's going to want to play them, just like nobody wanted to play Cincinnati last year. But yes, they're fine. It's just sometimes you get the injury bug, and that's what happened to them.
Not only the injuries, Bo, but they've gone through quite a few defensive coordinators here in the last few years, from Wink Martindale to Mike McDonald and now Zach Orr. And listen, Zach Orr's a young dude. He's just 33. You know, he was an analyst for them from 17 to 20. Then he went to the Jaguars and coached outside linebackers. Then he came back and was their inside linebackers coach. And then he gets promoted to defensive coordinator. I'm sure Zach Orr is learning on the fly a little bit here, too, as a young dude. Mm-hmm. So they've had a lot of turnover in that defensive staff, which, you know, when you lose coordinators, you lose coaches, too, a lot of times. And this guy's just kind of getting his feet wet with all of this. I kind of trust Harbaugh. Like, he's got a track record there, and it's been pretty good. So I think this is all going to work out for them.
Real quick, there's
This is great.
A account on Twitter called Video Game History, and this was back on Saturday. It tweeted a picture of a GameStop in Glendale, Colorado, that says the GameStop still has the Halo 3 mural up from 2007. So you got Master Chief in front of 3 big windows, and it's had that thing up since Halo 3's release back in 07. GameStop replied, says, "We'll take it down when something better comes out." Thing or not a thing?
It's great. I have to assume Halo. I don't think I played Halo 3. Halo was a big deal when I first got to Tallahassee. Like, we would play Halo and then go out. I don't think I've ever played Halo 3, but I think that's absolutely classic that they did this. And I love the fact that there are still GameStops.
Yeah, I am not a gamer. Like, I've never played a Halo, but I think that's fantastic. Like, you do better, we'll change our mural.
It's beautiful. It is a Hey Guys First Friday. Still time to get your questions in. Is the YouTube thing back going? Are we okay there?
Yeah, we're live.
Yep, we've been rolling for a while.
You can get your questions in there on the YouTube. You can also do so at 971BFS. We will do that coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance. Because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK. I was told you could make us feel better. You're suffering from too much junkitis. Point at something you haven't used lately. Wow, it's gone. Try it, honey. You'll feel light as a feather.
Something I haven't used?
All you have to do is point.
I feel like I'm flying.
That's the sound of optimism and energy and possibilities. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
You've heard about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Yeah, that's an old one. My dad told that one to me. But when it's your real feet, it's not a game. It's awful. Hey, it's Anthony. I had pain in my feet and my lower back, so I went to the Good Feet store and got the support I needed in my shoes that changed the game for me. I went in and they personally fit me for arch supports that would be perfect for my feet. The fitting process is simple. They ask the right questions about exactly what I was experiencing and the lifestyle I want to be able to live. They professionally measured my feet and arch size, and before I knew it, I was wearing my new arch supports home. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put into all of my shoes. Get professionally fitted at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Newman Roofing, as part of its 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to recognize individuals who go above and beyond to make a difference for people of all abilities. This week, we honor Jessica Komajati. Jessica has made a meaningful impact as a Special Olympics Ohio Fit 5 advocate, a youth leader, and a dedicated Buddy Walk committee member. During this Down Syndrome Awareness Month, Newman Roofing is proud to join forces with 10 TV and The Fan in celebrating our ongoing commitment to the community.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I cannot imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The NHL's opening week continues tonight with 4 games on the ice around the league. The Maple Leafs host the Canadiens in Toronto at 7 o'clock. The Blue Jackets are going to begin the season tomorrow night in Nashville. Thursday's face-off against the Predators is 8 o'clock. You can hear it on The Fan with coverage at 7:30. In college football, number 1 Ohio State plays at number 17 Illinois Saturday at noon. Hear from OSU's head coach tomorrow at noon on the Ryan Day radio show. In the NFL, the Browns traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals on Tuesday. Cincinnati could start the 40-year-old Flacco Sunday at Green Bay. This morning, Cleveland elevated cornerback Dom Jones to fill their final roster spot for the Browns. That could mean Shedeur Sanders backs up Dylan Gabriel Sunday against the Steelers. You can hear that one on The Fan with pregame coverage Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card.
Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a First Friday. Porty coming up in 29 minutes from now. Get your officially endorsed at 11:48, 45-ish. Time now for a little Hey Guys. Hit it, fellas.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank Distillery Co. Learn more at highbankco.com.
Yeah, winner here gets $50 gift card to our great friends at High Bank. Free distillery tour and a tasting for up to 10. It's home of the best blended whiskey in America, 3 years running. It's right here in town. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
All right, we got a bunch to get through today. We'll start on Twitter with Brian, who asks, hey, guys, I wanted to compare Buckeye position groups to the Browns and the Bengals, but forget that. Which fan personality, past or present, has the best sound clip? Schlegs is a strong candidate, but he adds Tyvis might have passed him by having sex.
Having sex?
It's a pretty good one.
That tickles me. I mean, that really tickles me. Schlegs has so many. What is the definitive Schlegs drop?
I don't know if there's one. There's so many Schlegs that, I mean, just about anything he says is gold, right?
Yeah. That came about, Schlegs came about the first year I went on the Buckeye cruise. I didn't really know him that well. I just knew him like through Bob, but I didn't know him that well. And then I spent kind of that Buckeye cruise with him. And Threes was there and Bob was there. And when it was done, I was like, dude, we got to do like a week. I went to Schlegs. I'm like, we got to do a week. We used to do this thing called Surviving with Schlegs. Threes and I would. And we would put him in absurd circumstances and see how he would find his way out of them. Like survival stuff. And that was Surviving with Schlegs. Yeah. So the Tyvis thing cracks me up every time he does it. It cracks me up. I think it's just hilarious. I wouldn't even know where to begin with Schlegs, though. There's so many.
There is a bunch with Schlegs. There are a couple from our show that I really like, and I don't think you guys know about these. One of them was yesterday, and it was Uncle Dom.
I just was not a rat.
Here's one from you, Bo.
And it will give you a mouthfeel that you've never had before.
Here's one from Reese.
Oh, I'd suck one right now. Jeez. Hell yeah.
And then here's one more from you, Bo.
It's very difficult for me to not go commando.
I will say Matty Ice has one that they use on their show.
Hold on now. Reese, do we have a rat?
It's a good job. It's a good job out of Baker.
What is happening?
I'm thrilled.
I mean, are you a Splinter Cell?
Well, see, we have to send promos to Bob for our Bishop and Friends promos that run throughout the day. And most of these were from those. They were just little snippets I took out just in case. I thought they'd be fun.
I mean, I thought jeez.
I'll get a couple from me, too.
Benedict Baker over there.
I'll get a couple from me, too, in there. I will say the one that Matty Ice did, this is not too old. They play it a couple times in their show when he says, Roman Reigns got his J's jacked off his feet. And it just cracks me up every time.
That's probably the best
That's
one.
a great one.
That's a great one.
Out of context. You're like, what the hell is he even saying?
What are you talking about?
We'll go to the YouTube. I don't know how we're topping that one today. We're going to go to the YouTube chat. Excuse me, where Scott asks, hey guys, I was at Bo's high school game last Friday night, and I'm sure the Bishop boys were locked in for all 4 quarters, but we couldn't help but laugh at the debauchery in the depths below the bleachers. What did Friday night football mean to you in your formative pre-high school years, and what are your fondest memories?
Well, it's that. So the way our stands work, the home stands are quite large, and so there is essentially a large shelter underneath the home stands, and all of the little kids and the middle school kids run around in there and, do you like me? Check yes or no. Try and hold a girl's hand. Like, I mean this. This is a little Norman Rockwell-y, and it's a little maybe touchy-feely, but the reality for me is that it's the last thing in America that is completely communal, that everybody still goes to. If you are in one of these towns where it's what you do on a Friday night, the whole town still shows up. It's just like a thing to do. So it was like that when I was a kid. We couldn't play at night on Friday nights because we didn't have lights, but on a Saturday, we were always Saturday at noon is when our games were. Saturday at 1, I can't remember. And we just run around. So like I love just run around and screw around with my buddies, and then you'd get a little touch for like little game of touch, on an adjacent field where there's some grass. I mean, that's Americana, man. I don't know how that loses.
Yeah, same thing. Like, I remember when I was younger, and a lot of these guys are my friends now, growing up through the years and playing ball with them. But the guys that were on the high school field when I was in elementary school and middle school, like, those were my heroes.
Yeah.
So I loved watching them. And then also you're a kid, you loved ball. So there's always a football game with the younger kids going around off to the side. So that was the best thing about Friday night. Like, you were watching your heroes out there, like, and it wasn't on TV. Like, you were close and in person.
There was a place, probably would be in Texas. I feel like it's in Texas, where they built a small field at the end of the high school stadium for little kids to play on. They built like a little turf field on one end of the end zone so that the little kids could play behind the main game. Awesome.
Yeah, there used to be at the old Marv Moorhead Memorial Stadium just so much grass just run around.
Yeah.
And so during games, if you weren't in the stands, you were either, this was the opponent's stands on the other side of the field. There were two just large grass areas, and you just see kids running around the entire time. I remember doing a little bit of everything before you get into high school with that. Rand asks in the YouTube chat, hey guys, my neighbor has 140 toasters displayed in his basement. What are other unique collections that you have seen?
Boy, that takes up a lot of space too. I'll tell you one that is unique that I have. I have every single credential I've ever gotten in my career. Every single one. So, like, my wife took the ones that are the coolest, the Super Bowls, the national championships, that type of stuff, and she put them in like a collage that's on the wall that's hanging. But then I have boxes of them, and every once in a while I'll go through and be like, oh yeah, I was at that game. That's right. Like, and I don't get them as much anymore because I don't cover games the way that I did for so long. But that's one that I still have.
I have a lot of my credentials, too. I don't think I have them all, but I do have a lot of them, and I have a lot of the more important ones, probably all of the more important ones that I've gotten so far. I used to date a girl whose neighbors had the most ridiculous knife collection I have ever seen. Like, knives, like he would go to all these conventions around the country and, like, trade knives, buy knives. Like, it was insane. I know a guy that collects old beer cans. I guess there's like a big thing with that, like old beer cans that you can, and they have shows where they trade them and sell them and all of that. So I've seen a lot of that. I've seen people have bottle cap collections.
Yeah.
And trains. I know a couple people that have some really insane train collections.
That's awesome. I love it. That's very cool.
I
just
do
don't
have
end up like Bobby Bacala.
A question for those who like collect cards and do card pack rips all the time. You end up with just so much, I don't need this or I don't want this. Like, what do you do with those cards? Like, I'm imagining and I'm picturing like basements with tables and desks just covered in card stacks. Like, that's not a collection you showcase. That's just trash.
Yeah, basically. Basically, card collecting now is trying to win the lottery, is the way I would describe it. And then everything else, you just kind of throw it away.
Jay walking in the YouTube chat asks, hey guys, what's the best breakfast sandwich bun? A bagel, a biscuit, a croissant, or an English muffin?
Oh my God. If the croissant is right, it's pretty, but it's got to be right because you can get a bad one. But what I need in a breakfast sandwich delivery mechanism, I need the pockets for the egg and the cheese to drip into. So that's why I prefer the croissant. The English muffin is tried and true, and it's pretty consistent. The croissant at its best, I think, provides the best delivery mechanism.
So, Bo, you are right. If the croissant is really good, that is tough to beat. But I think in general, the biscuit is the best. I love a good biscuit. I love all the different kinds of biscuits. Like, you can go to 3 different places and their biscuits are all going to taste different, I feel like. So I'm a big biscuit sandwich guy. Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure I could tell the difference in a biscuit ever. They all taste the same to me. That's interesting.
I think they're all different personally.
Yeah. No, it's all subjective, right? I mean, it's like anything. Yeah.
There's a spot in Athens called Bagel Street Deli, and so many times, very hungover, I would get that for breakfast so that the bagel sandwich has a soft spot in my heart.
That's the key on that. It's kind of like the croissant, though, right, Reese? Like the bagel's got to be right.
Yes.
Reese, before we go to one more, I found a great Schlegs for us.
Because if everybody forgets, the week before, he stroked a dude with his hands. I mean, like
made him leave the game.
And then here's the Matty Ice we were talking about.
Jay's jacked off his own feet last night.
How did Schlegel and Bob do a show and not get thrown off the air? Like the innuendo just flowed from the speakers.
Overwhelming innuendo. Yeah.
Real quick, I wanted to get to this one from Tug Speedman. He says, hey, guys, should they bring back awarding a live turtle for the Illabuck? He says the game MVP has had to keep it until the game is played again. They haven't done the live turtle since 1926.
Yes, I'm for it, but do it the opposite way. If you lose, you have to take care of the live turtle for a year. Because that's a penalty. Nobody wants to take care of a turtle for a year. So, to me, the loser keeps the turtle. The winner doesn't have to deal with it. But yes, I'm for that.
Yeah, almost like a punishment. You deal with this thing.
You deal with a damn turtle.
Yes, they should do this, but I'm guessing like PETA would not be okay with it.
Why? Have a little sanctuary?
I'm guessing they would raise a huge stink, giving this turtle back and forth.
Little sanctuary over in Champaign because that's the only place that it would ever be. Isn't that perfect? Let's give it to Tug. Plus, I liked his name.
That's a great name.
All right, Tug.
All right, Tug. You get the $50 gift card to High Bank and the free distillery tour and the tasting for up to 10. Home of the best blended whiskey in America. 3 years running. Drink local. Drink High Bank. What is the best case scenario for the Browns and the Bengals the rest of the way? We will get to that coming up next. Porty in 17 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Bundle up and save with Logan Services. Save on Train up to $2,000 off a furnace and up to $2,000 off an air conditioner. Plus, pick 2 freebies. It's hard to stop a train, so schedule your free estimate. Logan Services.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove. Not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. Oh no, I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my 2 best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Ah, college. A time to broaden the mind, question, learn. A time to challenge the status quo. And eat a ridiculous amount of pizza, which you can buy with your Huntington Bank debit card with the Ohio State University logo. Huntington Bank is proud to be the official consumer bank of the Ohio State University and the unofficial bank of pizza. Let's go Bucks! Let's get more for money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome.
Bills piling up? CME can help you wrap up your debt into one simple, manageable signature loan with rates starting as low as 8.75% APR. Instead of juggling stacks of statements, let CME help you unwrap peace of mind this season. APR from 8.75%. Terms and eligibility apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit CMEFCU.org.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman here for Germain Honda of Dublin. So what's the difference? There are other Honda dealers around. Well, Rich Newsom and his team want to earn your trust. They don't expect it, and they earn it by giving you a great price, and then they back it up after the sale with same-day service, no appointment necessary, a great variety of brand new Hondas, and hundreds of pre-owned certified Hondas to choose from, all at the same location. Identify yours at GermainHondaofDublin.com. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
You know what my favorite place in the world to watch a game is? It's the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. This is Scotty Vegas, and Dave Biddle and I get to visit our favorite game-watching spot twice in 1 week. Sunday, October 12th, watch the Browns Steelers. Then Thursday, October 16th, we're back for the Steelers Bengals. I have Browns tickets, Pro Football Hall of Fame passes, and dining credits to give out during the games at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Friday night can only mean one thing: the Capital Ford High School football game of the week.
This week, Grove City at Pickerington North.
Live coverage starts Friday at 6:30. Your home of Friday Night Lights, The Fan. The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472,000, 614-472,000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472,000, 614-472,000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Finally feeling more like fall than we have in a while. We'll see plenty of sunshine today, but temperatures only topping out in the mid to upper 60s. We get pretty cold tonight with mostly clear skies overnight. Lows will be down into the mid to upper 30s in some spots to low 40s. And then for Thursday, plenty of sun in the forecast, but even cooler with our highs in the mid to low 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
1, 2, 3. Here at The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan. Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And the Capital Ford of Columbus High School football game of the week takes us to Pick North. Friday night as the Panthers host Grove City. Coverage starts 6:30, kick at 7. After the game, it's Byers Subaru double in overtime with Bake and Lee. Friday nights are for high school football right here on The Fan. Couple of things. I did have a couple of, here's a good one. So a couple of Hey Guys leftovers. This one from President Bush. Hey Guys, when friend of the program Paul Feinbaum gets elected to Congress, what is the first bill you would like him to propose? Getting rid of daylight savings time or making it permanent, which is the one I want.
I think you want the permanent. You want the longer
I don't want to
days
change from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this. You want it permanently there.
I don't know that, I mean, just from a body clock thing, I don't know that there's anything worse than dark at 4 o'clock. Like, I don't need the sun in the morning. I'm fine in the morning. Give it to me at the end of the day.
Yeah, if that was the only platform he ran on, yeah, I'd be good. You got my vote, Paul.
That's all he needs. This from TJ. As we head into soup season, what is your favorite to make in soup season? You guys soup guys?
I like a good soup. I will say this. Whenever I think soup, though, there's only one I want, and that's the Max and Irma's tortilla soup. It's hard to find around here nowadays, but...
Really?
There's a place out in Pickerington that has it, and every couple months I have to head out that way.
Is it called Max and Irma's?
No, Max. There's only one Max and Irma's now in Central Ohio, I believe, maybe all of Ohio. But there's a place, what is it called? It's, I think, McKenzie River out in Pickerington, and a couple of times, like every few months I have to go out there for something, and I always order a bunch of it and just bring it home and put it in the fridge and have it all week.
Tortilla soup as a first-round draft pick. Do you got one, Reese?
To make?
Or to consume.
So is chili a soup?
Boy, that's July. We can do that in July.
Okay.
For sure.
Man, this is like a hot dog a sandwich combo.
Love to make chili. Also enjoy chicken noodle to make it home. Because it happens a few times a year when you buy a rotisserie.
Yeah.
And you just throw it in there and you let it simmer for a couple of hours. That's awesome. To purchase, Panera's got a pretty good chicken tortilla soup.
At a white tablecloth, I love a lobster bisque. That's a delight. I'll tell you, I haven't had it in a while, but Smith & Woleski has a split pea that is spectacular. My favorite one to make is actually one that Nathan Zagura gave me the recipe to, which is a beef soup. His family is Croatian, and they have this beef soup recipe that they've passed on from generation to generation that is spectacular. So I'll make that one a little bit from time to time. A lot of people weighing in that Marysville How did you not know this, Bake, Mr. High School Football? Marysville built a small football field for kids on Friday nights at Impact Stadium. That's awesome.
That's pretty good.
That's a great job out of them.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, that's great. A couple others weighing in on the delivery mechanism for the breakfast sandwich. Mike Curtis, try a Hardee's biscuit sandwich versus McDonald's biscuit sandwich. You'll never go back to McDonald's. Okay, haven't done it. Zoran also says the best croissant in the world right out of the oven as the breakfast sandwich. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm fine with all of those. I'm fine with all of those examples. And I have not had a Hardee's breakfast sandwich. I used to do the Steak and Shack breakfast sandwiches after the bars in the South, and we used to call those suckers Scooby snacks.
Okay.
And those are a delight. Scoop up one of those if you struck out. Grab one of those on the way home to kind of make it all better. That's the way that kind of worked. How do you define, one of the big stories of the day, obviously, was the trade of Joe Flacco from the Browns to the Bengals. So it begs a question here for a short conversation, and that is simply, what is success for either of those franchises the rest of the way after a trade like that? Cincinnati's pretty straightforward to me. I think it's be somehow relevant when Joe Burrow comes back in December. Somehow find a way to be around 500. You want Joe Burrow to come back and play meaningful games in December. You don't want him coming back, and then you'd have a decision to make. If they're not meaningful, do you have him come back at all? So I think that one's pretty straightforward. Anybody have a problem with that from Cincinnati's perspective?
No.
Is it realistic?
No.
It's more realistic acquiring Flacco and having him start at quarterback than Jake Browning. So I think that's a step in the right direction, but no.
Do you think that I think Flacco is certainly an upgrade over Jake. I think Joe's going to have the time of his life throwing to that group of receivers. I think from a fan perspective, at the very least, you're going to have a little more fun. I don't know if you're going to win a whole lot more than you would have won with Jake, but I think you're going to have a little bit more fun. And that matters too. Like, I look to the game against the Broncos. If you'd had Flacco instead of Browning, I think you're a little bit more competitive. I think that game is a little bit, it's a little closer going into the fourth quarter. Similarly for the Lions game. And I think against the Packers this weekend, if Flacco is the starter against Green Bay Sunday at 4:25, you are more competitive late into that game.
My question with that is we saw Flacco with not a great offensive line this year, and it wasn't great, and the Bengals' offensive line is really bad, and I know they're banking on him reading it and getting it out quick, but he's got to learn this offense, and he already knew Stefanski's offense, and I feel like he wasn't getting it out that quick this year. So I think if I was a Bengals fan, that would concern me a little bit.
Yeah, fair. The pushback, or maybe the response to that will be, is it possible he wasn't throwing the ball down the field in Cleveland because there was nobody to throw the ball to?
Yes, he's got better receivers now, which could make a difference.
The onus does fall a little bit more on Zach Taylor. Like, I do feel that with Jake Browning, he was so limited, but with Flacco, this puts a lot more on Taylor to say, all right, if you're going to be the play caller, you've got a quarterback that can sling it down the field better. You've got two of the best weapons in the game. We were saying this before the beginning of the season. Like, nobody had a better 1-2 punch than Joe Burrow with T and Chase. Mm-hmm. Let's have more success now, please.
Flacco does have to be giddy with this upgraded wide receiver because he had nobody to throw the ball to in Cleveland wide receiver wise.
Oh, the fun he's going to have is. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to have success, but he's going to get to throw it around. He'll throw for 330. Like, all of those things are happening. They'll spin it around, and it gives him a better chance for sure because of his ability to drive the ball down the field. Now, all of a sudden, you have a couple of goes, and you throw it up there and let Jamar go down there and make a play. Let T go down there and make a play. For the Browns, what this signifies to me, and Kevin Stefanski should talk within the next hour, maybe a little bit more, what this signifies to me is this is Dylan Gabriel's team. It's his team. And he's got a long runway for good and bad and up and down, and you're going to get a long look at Dylan Gabriel this year for the Cleveland Browns. And I think that's really critical. I mean, ownership said it. We have to see both of these guys play, so you probably will see Shedeur at some point. But if you do see Shedeur, I don't think it'll be from the standpoint of, we got to get him in a game to see what he is. It will be because Dylan Gabriel fell on his face. I think that's the only way that Shedeur sees the field, or if he's hurt. Those two are the only kind of two options for that. So I think Gabriel's runway here is really long as the starting quarterback of record of the Cleveland Browns to try to prove that he can be it, maybe even long term. That's what the rest of this is to me for the Browns.
Yeah, and I also will acknowledge, because I've seen a lot of it, and Bo, I'm sure you've seen a lot of it as well. The Watson thing, I don't think has anything to do with this. I think while they have Watson in the room, while they have him in the facility, I don't think he's part of their plan at all right now. I think there's the smallest chance in December if both Gabriel and Shedeur fall on their face, but I don't think he's any consideration right now.
He had a second Achilles surgery in the middle of December. Guys, like, it's an Achilles.
Someone push him down. Never mind.
This isn't an MCL.
I got to be honest. If he's ever part of their plans ever, again, something's wrong here.
I would just, I guess, caution that because he's still on the roster. He's still getting paid.
He's going to be on the roster next year.
Mm-hmm. So
there's really,
there always will be that just kind of, he's the albatross, the $230 million one. But I don't think right now there's any consideration of him taking a snap this year.
I don't think there was any consideration of him taking a snap ever again when you draft two quarterbacks.
Blue Jackets debut tomorrow night down in Nashville. How are we going to judge them? Aaron Portzline will help us provide the answer to that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky's Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. The uncle you never knew you had. The friends you kind of wish you didn't. This is Bishop and Friends.
When we talk Blue Jackets around here, we prefer to do it with our great buddy Aaron Portzline at The Athletic. Were you at Game 1 25 years ago yesterday?
I was. I was, in fact, yeah. Yeah.
20
crazy,
goes by in a blink,
night.
huh?
It kind of does. It does, yeah. In a lot of ways. Then you start looking up some of these names, and you go, "Oh my God, Rusty Klutz was 43. Oh my gosh, right? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, time does not stand still.
I was trying to do, I wasn't here at that point, so we did a lot of stories when I was at Channel 10 around the 10-year anniversary about how bold of a decision it was for hockey, I remember J.D. Kershaw telling me something along the lines of there was like one sheet of ice in town at the time, and now we become this hockey hotbed, despite not seeing success with the organization the way that you would have hoped. How do you make sense having a front row seat for the last 25 years of how this has all gone and how audacious the plan was in the beginning?
Yeah, it's a great question. So they had tried to lure Major League Baseball teams here. It was made clear to them that with the Indians and the Reds, Columbus was not a market that the league was interested in. They had talked about an NFL team. They tried to get the then St. Louis Cardinals before they moved to Arizona. They had, I think at least 5 or 6 either referendums or ballot issues to get an arena built that failed. And then Ohio State needed a new arena, and they kind of threw their elbows around and took $15 million from the state to build their place, hoping that they would have the arena should another pro sport come to town. It was really John McConnell who said, this town deserves a professional sport. They deserve their own arena. Let's just do this, and I'm being blunt here, but we'll figure this out as it goes along, because this town, as many people know, for so long it was seen as a college town on line with Champaign, Bloomington, Ann Arbor. But the people who lived here are like, guys, it's bigger than Cincinnati and Cleveland combined. It is a tremendous college town, but it's not just a college town. And thankfully, McConnell had the vision to look beyond that. And I listen, they have struggled on the ice. There's no question about that. But you look at their fan base, look at this building, this neighborhood, you look at youth and recreation hockey in Columbus, there's no doubt it's been, in all of those respects, a success.
I don't think it's a coincidence that over those last 25 years, this city has boomed like this too, though. I think it's all connected.
100%.
Yeah,
yep. And I meet people all the time, who were Penguins fans are now Blue Jackets fans. They were Red Wings fans. I meet people who remarkably are Red Wings fans unless they're playing the Blue Jackets, right? But there are people here who are like, what is this hockey? There are a lot of people like me who didn't know anything about hockey until the 1980 Olympics and then was hooked, absolutely hooked. And they were dying for this. And just for so many people, this is now a part of living in Columbus. But I've said this before. When I grew up here, it was the Block O and everything else kind of filled in behind it. And for many people, it still is that way. But for the kids that have come along, maybe born in the 90s or beyond, they see Ohio State, the Blue Jackets, the Crew as being the sports picture here in Columbus, Ohio. It's a totally different perspective than it used to be.
It absolutely is. And just imagine if they'd won a little bit more, what it would be, because it's a hockey town anyway. So I always tell people just see what happens in Nashville when they made that run. All of a sudden it becomes Smashville, and it's what's to do. We've had such minimal success, and yet when it happens, you remember it like it's so seminal moments for the city, which brings us to this year's team. You and I have long lamented publicly and privately, build it once right.
Yes.
There takes patience for that. Last year, obviously, was the tragedy at the beginning. That season was off the rails and it was amazing what they got out of them. This year, obviously, that's not the case. Where are they in this build it once correctly stage for you?
So I think that the level of talent, especially up front right now, is different than it's ever been here, especially down the middle. The young talent that has bloomed is different now than it's been before. There have been certainly players here that have bloomed. Rick Nash, but who around him? Jake Voracek for a bit. I mean, there have been, but not this group of guys. There's so many guys under the age of 25, some of them barely 20, who are already now established, productive offensive players. Mix that with a dressing room that this management group, Don Waddell and his staff, have really put an emphasis on surrounding them with really impressive veteran players. Jenner, of course, Monahan, Goodbranson's been here before Waddell was. But and then this summer, they bring in yet more, Charlie Coyle. It's an interesting mix. It's a competitive team, the team that should be good enough to qualify for the playoffs. Saying all that, I completely understand the fan base here has been conditioned to expect something to not pan out. And until this team establishes itself again this year, I'm not sure people will have that full-throated optimism that a lot of fan bases have this time of year. There's still a little bit of wariness, but there is talent here, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's so interesting because you had that run with Bob where it was like, okay, you have some pieces here or there, but you got the Vezina guy in net, but do you have enough of other things? This time you have all of this young talent, precocious talent. You manage the veteran mix, but then you come to goalie and you go, okay, what's happening there? I posed this to Don Waddell when he joined me, I think yesterday on the show at 9:30. I'll pose it to you. For them to reach what we think is possible and the most optimistic view of what's possible, who needs to step up in net and who do you think will?
Well, I think there's a ton of support in the room and within the organization for the idea of Jet Greaves taking over as the number one goalie this year. I think that is seen by many as the optimum situation. No one's going to say that. Just spoke with Dean Evison. He won't even say who the starter is tomorrow in Nashville. Right? So I think there's a sense, I know there's a sense that Jet Greaves can be the guy here. I think they're trying to really dial down any sort of drama with that, just sort of let it happen rather than create an expectation with it. But and listen, if Jet Greaves becomes the guy here and plays like he is the guy, that can only help Elvis too. He hasn't been pushed here in 3 years, which I think can really benefit him if he feels like there's a challenge to his ice time. Maybe if there's a lesser load for Elvis, it helps him too. He's been hurt most of the last 4 years. He's had some time out of the lineup with injury. So all good things if Jet Greaves continues to play as he has literally every time he's been in the NHL. He's never looked out of place. They've raised him the right way. They've brought him along the right way just because of who he is and how he got into the organization. It's a great story. But here he is now, an NHL player, and that's a guy who's got a lot of eyes on him right now.
Porty, you've observed camp. You've observed these preseason games. We've talked about all that young talent. If you are going to get to that next level, usually you need one of those young guys to do kind of a leap, right? Like, oh, he was really good, but now there's something else. Who are some names to you who feel like are ready to take not a small step, but rather a very large step for the organization?
Yeah, well, for me, Fantilli took a big step last year, but I still think there's a big stride left for him to go. 31 goals as a 20-year-old center in the National Hockey League. That just does not happen very often. It's never happened here. I think there's another level for him. I think basically we're watching now, myself and Blue Jackets fans are watching to see when he ascends to the number one line, when that whatever line he's on becomes the line. He's the dude in that room that can be the NHL superstar across the way here. Marchenko had 31 goals last year. I'm not sure he doesn't get 40 this year, if that line can stay together. And you know what? I think Jet Greaves can be a hell of a story across the league too. Incredibly athletic goalie, not the biggest guy, 6 foot, 190 pounds in a league right now where these guys are 6'4", 6'5", giants. But watch this guy's glove. I mean, it looks like Mark Grace at first base. It's unbelievably smooth. He is a naturally gifted athlete, smart as hell because he has to be, a student of the game, and really works. And I think that's a name that's really going to elevate this season.
God, I love that Mark Grace drop in out of you. That's why you're a pro, buddy. That was beautiful. What standard, I'll get you out of here on this one. What standard are you going to hold this team to this year? What is your expectation?
Well, the players have said playoffs are a bust. To me, that's absolutely. That should be the minimum now, right? They came 2 points away from it. I think if they don't make the playoffs, and this season is absolutely a disappointment. I think it's just that simple. And I would suspect, too, that with all of their cap room and all of the draft picks, if this season goes as according to plan, early March could be a very, very interesting time for Don Waddell, who likes to make trades, likes to make big trades, and could finally be in a position where the trade deadline means something other than adding around the edges or unloading. They could be going big game hunting for difference makers if they're in that spot.
You're the best, buddy. Appreciate your time, and season 25 for you as well. So enjoy it, my friend.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
There he goes, the great Aaron Portzline of The Athletic. Been on the Jackets beat since day one. Who is your favorite single-digit wearing Blue Jacket player of all time, Bake?
single-digit wearing blue jacket of all time. Oh, my goodness. That's brutal.
You want to go?
Probably Werenski.
Okay, so
he's
eighth
number
caller.
8. Yeah.
Eighth caller at 821-9710 gets the pack of tickets to the Columbus Italian Fest. It's October 10th, 11th, and 12th. It is this weekend. Come for the pizza, stay for the festival. We'll give away that pack coming up. You're going to talk to Bake on the other side of this at 821-9710. Eighth caller gets those. Coming up next, you're officially endorsed. 3 things on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is a Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safe Light Auto Glass. With how well your defense is played, and we know that giving different looks is part of it, are there some things that have to be constant even though you're showing different elements?
Yeah, and I think that's the coach's job to make sure that it's simple for us, but a little bit more complicated for the other side of the ball. And, you know, as coaches, when you have really smart players like we have, it's easy to do too much. And that's where we have to make sure that, you know, we're keeping it simple so they can play really, really fast. And when we present something but play something else, we know that that's advantage us, but we have to be able to do it at a high level. And when you have players who really buy into the work that's put during the week, the preparation, the film work, the walkthroughs, the meetings, I mean, there's a lot that it takes on a week-to-week basis. But I think the guys enjoy that. They enjoy that challenge. And I think our defensive staff is working hard each week to make sure that we're putting them in the right positions.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safe Light Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at SafeLight.com. Safe Light Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
In regard to different looks on defense, with the way a guy like Peyton Pierce has played at linebacker, is he a piece that kind of helps give you some of those different views?
Yeah, Peyton's become a very good football player, somebody that is, you know, certainly playing for us now on special teams, but you're seeing him get more and more reps on defense, which is usually the progression on how it works. And every day I say is an opportunity to build trust, but you know, he runs the punt team. You know, he's on punt return. He's on all the special teams, and so because of that, you watch him play and he's doing his job. You're like, all right, well, this can translate to on the field. You know, I think it's going to happen with Quincy Porter. Quincy Porter had a great week of preparation and then put it on the field. Did a really good job on special teams. Guess what? He's going to be playing now. So it's the same thing with Peyton. You know, he's worked hard on special teams, and now you're seeing that carry over to being a linebacker, which is the right progression. So, you know, not only does Peyton have a bright future here, but right now he's playing good football for us.
Okay, this is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Round here, it's all or nothing, and nobody has more all-wheel drive choices than Toyota. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.75 on RAV4 Hybrid, excludes plug-ins, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $309 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
5 words no one wants to hear? You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Victor's Home Solutions, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates for a limited time, Victor's is offering 5-year, no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's Home Solutions has your back. It starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. It assesses the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do you have on the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll asks, if you're a Browns fan, are you rooting for Baker Mayfield to have success with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Your 3 options are yes, no, or not a Browns fan. 54% of you say yes, you're rooting for Baker to have success. 14% say no. 32% say you're not a Browns fan. So thanks for playing.
I mean, they're an easy route right now for around here. If you liked Baker when he was with the Browns, and then they got a Mac, and they're wearing those unis, like that's
those
pretty tough
unis
to
are
beat.
great.
Yeah, the Bootsy was all over that Emeka White #2. Like that thing is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now he'd spill spaghetti all over it, so it'd be ruined in a minute, but he did like the idea of it. All right, it's First Friday. Hit it, guys.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday. Officially endorsed because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
Sponsored by Hydrate Me Med Spa. Feel better, recover faster, live optimized with Hydrate Me.
Drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good. Because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar. Because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
I know it's not officially the first day of fall, but it feels like it. It feels like now we have fall. This is what we have from now on out. We're not going to have days in the 80s anymore. It'll be low 70s, 60s. This is everything that you want. It's Apex, Ohio. We've had a great September. It looks like it's going to be great October, too. So in the spirit of that, it is time for one of my favorites this time of year, which is the apple cider old fashioned. So what you do here is you take your tumbler and you on the rim of the glass, you get a little bit of cinnamon and sugar on the rim of the glass. You then take in the bottom, you take about a half ounce of the apple cider of your choice, and then you take a little bit of brown sugar. And you muddle that together with maybe about a half ounce of the bourbon or whiskey of your choosing. One that I think works really good with this is Woodford Reserve. That's a great one from this. Weller would work too. Something in that world would be very, very good. Woodford is great for it. So take that and just kind of muddle that together and stir it together. Put in your rocks. And then fill it with the bourbon of your choice up to the brim, right underneath that cinnamon sugar rimmed glass, and away you go. And it is good for your officially endorsed on what feels like the first Friday of fall. Time for 3 things. Hit it, fellas.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
We were at number 1 for me. So if you want to know that you're reaching a point of everybody paying attention to you, and I think we're going to get into this a little bit later. There's a lot of people jumping on the Julian Sayin bandwagon after what happened last week against Minnesota. We've been on it since day one, and we got all the audio to back it up. We got the receipts. Well, one of the things that you know that you're starting to really become noticed is when your 9-year-old says to you last night, as mine did, baby boy Bootsy, Dad, you think I could have Julian Sayin's hair? Yeah, I think you could. I think you're not that far off, buddy. I think about another month of growth, and you're going to have it. So that's what we're attempting to do. Baby boy Bootsy is going with the Sayin hair, and my guess is that will be mimicked. And as long as it's not, this is such an upgrade. You guys don't even know because you don't have children at this age, or as you know, probably children anywhere as it is. They are all doing this massive mop in the front, gross thing that's just awful. Get it off their face. Hopefully saying hair takes off.
First thing for me, the College Sports Commission's snitch line is live. Amanda Kristovich reported that about a half hour ago. She adds a great tweet under it. I cannot imagine a scenario where these tip lines aren't flooded by message board users and college football fans, because you can submit a report electronically. So you shouldn't. Anybody out there, don't. Wink.
Unmitigated waste of time.
Bo, my first thing, I'll piggyback off of your kind of first day of fall feel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been sleeping with the windows open for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
But last night, didn't even have to put the fan on. With a little bit of chill.
Come on.
Oh, my goodness. That was one heck of a night of sleep right there. I was so happy. Couldn't be any better.
Same exact experience. I'll make this my number 2. My wife frantically, 3:28 in the morning. Did you hear that? No, I didn't. I didn't hear that. You didn't hear that? No, I didn't. I was sleeping. You have awakened me. What did you hear? She goes, it was the coyotes, and I don't know what they're doing. They're playing. They're hunting. They're trying to eat. I mean, we may have to get the coyote expert on again to just for her sake of what's going on at night with these coyotes. Like, they're out there thriving, man. Let them live.
Second thing for me, example 9,000 why AI must be stopped. So if you haven't heard of this new Sora from OpenAI, allows you to create like real lifelike videos with AI. I saw on my feed this morning Mr. Rogers joining the NWO.
Oh, no.
And it does have a Sora watermark in it, which should be required for any AI video, a giant watermark telling you that this is AI. But to someone untrained or maybe someone older, that's Mr. Rogers in an NWO sweater, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Oh, my goodness. That's awesome.
That's terrifying. I know you think, like,
well, Mr. Rogers joining the NWO would be hilarious, but
every drive into school, I put out fires of Beamsy being tricked by some nonsense. It's exhausting.
Won't you be my neighbor? And he takes the sweater off, and instead of changing it, there's just the NWO underneath.
Smokes again.
Where were you on that one back in the day, Eric Bischoff? Second thing for me, and I did not have this because I have never been someone who has really got into paying attention or watching to the spring football. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of pumped about the Columbus Aviators, so much so that I even found myself on the website last night looking at gear.
Oh, I'm going to have to check out the gear. I like the logo.
I think I'm all in on this, and I did not think I would be.
First game's in February, bud. We'll see how all in you are.
Yeah, it's Jackets time. Never mind.
Finally, number 3 for me. Final 8th grade football game for NBC this afternoon. Enjoy him. It hit me. I'm like, my God, the next time he plays football, he'll be a high schooler. Crazy.
Final thing, real quick, those decrying the preseason polls in college football. Just a reminder from friend of the program, Shehan Jayaraja, who covers the college football for CBS Sports. In the preseason SP+, Penn State was 4, Texas was 5, Notre Dame was 6, Clemson was 10. So it's not just the polls, guys.
No.
Final thing for me, Rothman and Ice coming up next. Adam Schefter will join them, the General Bob Carpenter, and I've heard that maybe even one Bo Bishop is going to stick around for the first segment.
Little crossover for the kids like the old days. I mean, then get the gang back together. We'll have a little fun off the top of the program there. Enjoy your first Friday. Act accordingly. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
All the Ohio State conversation you can handle. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.